Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Timothy Adon, composer by day, gamer by night, and that is my lovebird Peachy, who is in my room today, because otherwise she'd be all by herself and that'd be sad. Anyways, welcome back to the second part of selecting your DAW. Let's just jump right into it. Today, the first DAW that we are going to talk about is Reaper. Who said that you couldn't have a really good DAW for really cheap? Probably everybody. But Reaper is out to change all of that. So we'll just start with the purchase cost, since that is what I am talking about first. The purchase cost is either you can get the discounted license for $60 or the commercial license for $225. Now, in general, DAWs are going to cost anywhere from like $300 to $500, or all the way up to Pro Tools, which we talked about in the last episode, for $1,000 or more, depending on what you're looking at. So this one is really inexpensive. The difference between the two licenses is the discounted licenses, you're not technically supposed to do anything that makes you, there's like more than $2,000. As long as your gross yearly revenue does not exceed $20,000. So this means that for $60, you can start off with the discount license and even be able to make money off of it, especially if you're just getting started. And then you can upgrade to the still inexpensive commercial license later. So, what is Reaper? Reaper is a very stereotypical DAW. I guess a good phrase would be good at everything but master of nothing, where it can do all the things that you need it to do. Go over here, where you can record to many tracks. I believe it has unlimited simultaneous tracks that you can have, obviously up to the maximum that your computer can handle. It gives you all the basic things: mute, solo, panning, faders for the levels. You've got time stretch, you've got looping, you've got trimming, you've got resizing, snap to grids, tools, all the things that you would normally see in just about any other DAW. In addition to a few of its own plugins, but in general, it is there for you to use third-party plugins using VST, VST3, etc., etc. So in addition to audio, it also has the general MIDI suite that you generally see in just about every DAW. So it's going to have the piano roll. It'll have the ability to take in MIDI information, MIDI controllers, and then obviously play through MIDI-enabled instruments like Iris or Play or whatever else that you might have for a third party. In addition, you can do everything that other DAWs can do as well, which is customize your display to your liking. In addition to changing colors, that's actually kind of something I wish I could do with Sonar, which I might not have seen it. I know that I can customize some colors, but I want easier control of the colors to customize them. Like, I want to customize my individual tracks and have my faders be different colors, and then I want everything to be bright pink. But anyways, I digress. So you can change everything on your display, you can change the colors, you can change the sizes, blah, 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 blah. And then another thing that it can do, which is why it's good at everything but master of nothing, is that it can handle video pretty well, according to the website anyways, as well as still images, and then be able to render videos, images, and be able to edit those things on top of that. And that's something that, although for my DAW can do that, it's a pain in the butt, and it doesn't accept very many formats. It's really hard for me to even import a video, let alone export one. So it's nice to know that for pretty inexpensive, you can have something that does basically everything that you'd want to do at an entry to intermediate level. And that is essentially what this DAW is. It is a DAW for entry to intermediate or even early pro level usage. And as I said in the previous video, depending on how you use the DAW, anything can be fully 100% professional. As long as it's the thing that you want to use and it has the features that you like and you're not missing anything. So this is definitely a good one to keep an eye out for. It's really inexpensive. You can just, for $60, it's easily worth trying out on a permanent basis for $60. On top of that, go over to videos here. It has, these are all tutorial videos. You click on one of these, let's just click on this. And then it opens up a video, and I've only watched like a couple minutes of one, but it's the person doing the tutorials is clear, concise, and seems to know what he's talking about. Plus the intros are pretty fun, but I'm not going to play through that because that would be silly in my own video. Videoception. And then I guess the last thing to mention is that they tend to do an update every few weeks. So it's constantly changing, constantly, I'm going to use their word, evolving, which means that within a year, Reaper will probably be an entirely different animal from what I'm reviewing right now. Before I forget, because I almost did, if you go to the download section, you can download an evaluation copy of Reaper for free on Windows and Mac. This will last 60 days, fully functional, by the way. Fully functional 60-day evaluation so that you can try it out for free. You don't even have to spend the 60 measly dollars. In addition, in the same download section, there is a more comprehensive list of Reaper's capabilities. So if you want to take a look at that and see for yourself all the things that this can do, definitely take a look and see for yourself. And then try it out. Why the hell not, right? The next DAW we are going to talk about is FL Studio 12, formerly known as Fruity Loops. After having a look at this, I actually, if I go down here, I was looking at their introduction video, and it's so quick story. I was at Anime Boston one year, and there was one Berkeley student that had a panel. It was an interactive panel where he brought all of his studio stuff and essentially asked the audience, like, we're gonna make this crazy weird game, imaginary game. And I want you guys to tell me what kind of music we're going to need and what situation it would be played in. And the DAW that he used was FL Studio. And it was so during that, what I learned about FL Studio at that panel was it seemed like it was almost entirely built around this part right here. Kind of like a Drum Machine, the digital audio workstation. And it's even like one of their features, the channel rack, which is essentially a beat or rhythm machine, along with their updated browsers. Like, this entire thing seems to be geared towards MIDI production. And obviously, they've being a DAW, it needs to be able to handle audio to some extent. But even in watching this video for 15 minutes, almost the entire thing was talking about how where all the different buttons were, because there are several, how to insert effects, how to insert instrument plugins, and how to group your tracks together into side chains and buses, etc., etc. So you can kind of get the idea that this entire thing is designed for really quick, really easy MIDI production using primarily their channel rack as a means of creating rhythm. And that's really cool, honestly. Like, if I were using FL Studio, I'd probably be pretty happy, because I'd have an easy method of just plugging and playing rhythms. So that's what I'm going to talk about that. They have a really easy way of finding all the plugins that you're going to need, which is pretty interesting. I suggest that you go onto the website and you watch this video. It'll definitely give you a great deal of insight into how this functions. Another thing that I like is that any routing that is going on is easily visible, assuming you have that option turned on. I originally didn't like things like that. Before I became an audio engineer at a club that I work at, I used Reason. It was Propellerhead's Reason. I had like Reason. It was really early. This was years ago. I used it once, and I only got it because it was required for a class. And then I never used it after that. Because the entire point of Reason is... I'm getting really off track here. The entire point of Reason is that it's supposed to look like a rack of effects along with a mixing board. And it's supposed to look very analog. And even the way that you routed effects from one place to another, you would place digital patch cords from one part of the DAW, and then you'd plug it into another part, and you could flip it over and you can see all the cables hanging. And it was a very interesting idea, but it was very daunting for somebody that had no idea how to use a mixing board at that time. And I still don't necessarily want to use that, but I do like the visual representation of where things are being patched in this, the way that they do it. It's nice to the eye, I guess. This is another DAW that has a lot of customizability as far as the your work surface is concerned. Everything can be undocked, redocked, snapped together, resized, and then the way that it resizes means that everything will kind of keep its same approximate size with each other when you're moving something else around, assuming you understood what the hell I just said. And they make sorting really easy. Again, something that I kind of wish that I knew how to do. And I swear, I'm going to go into my DAW and find that I was missing it the entire time. And I'm going to feel like the biggest idiot. But, you know, I wish it was easier. And they do make it really easy in this DAW to change colors of everything, because then you can sort it. And then there's symbols, and it's all really cool and concise, and you can find everything easy. Things that I wish I had. So, as far as cost and features, it depends. There are 4 versions of Fruity Loops. And obviously, the cheap $99 one probably not going to get you very far. I think the signature version is probably, and given that it's called the signature version, is probably the standard as far as Fruity Loops is concerned. But the all plugins bundle, $737, really expensive. But it's called the all plugins bundle because... I'm going to open this up right here for you. FL Studio has a ton of its own effects kind of designed specifically for Fruity Loops. Some of these are VSTs, but I don't think all of them are. I'm fairly certain most of these are designed just to work with FL Studio, and they all have their individual costs, so when you buy one of these, you can then in the future buy one of these. Alternatively, you just get all of it if you have the all plugins bundle. And then the other thing to think about, and then of course there's, you know, some feature limited things. It's like this one doesn't have, you know, these things here. And then the various other plugins and tools that they have. In addition, when you purchase one of these and you make an account with FL Studio, any update that they come out with for the version that you bought, you get for free. So with the all plugins bundle, I think if I saw somewhere, that means whenever they come out with a new plugin, you just get the plugin, because it's essentially an update, because anybody that buys it in the future will then get the plugin, and it's part of the update. You'll just end up getting it for free. So the all plugins bundle is a pretty good deal because you're going to get a lot of effects. Now, I mentioned before in the last video that I did that Pro Tools has a similar thing. It just has a lot of its own plugins, and that can be pretty cool. And the difference here is that Fruity Loops does support VST, so you can use third-party plugins if you want. And the other thing that I said is that about Pro Tools was that you didn't necessarily need all the plugins and all the features that it had. And so you wouldn't necessarily want to pick it up if you weren't going to use all of it. And so that's kind of the same thing here, except at least here you have the option. So for $737, you can get the army of plugins that FL Studio comes out with, and still be able to use third-party VST plugins on top of that. Or if you don't care about getting all the plugins, and of course, you'll be able to look at all of these You can try, there's a you can try FL Studio, I believe you can try FL Studio Signature for free. There's a trial version, and you can also try out, I believe you can try all of their plugins for free as well, as a trial. You have to download them individually, but I believe that's something that you can do. And so you'll be able to try it out and see if the all plugins bundle is something that you would want, if, you know, a majority of the effects is definitely worthwhile. But aside from that, if you're looking for a very MIDI heavy, beat machine rhythm heavy DAW is what you are looking for, this is probably a pretty good one to go with, especially considering that it's got a large number of its own plugins and its own tools that could be very useful. And obviously I haven't delved too deeply into its audio editing features, and obviously that's not their focus. It's definitely not their focus. But you might be able to find something that'll make it a good all-around DAW, in addition to being MIDI programming machine that it is. But if rhythmic music is your thing, this is probably a good way to go. No matter which version, this always happens once in every video. No matter where you decide to go, which version you get, it's probably not going to be that bad of a deal. And you can pick up the $99 version, and at some point in the future, you can upgrade for a discount. I'm not sure how much of a discount, but you can upgrade. So I came over here to see if I could find what the prices were on upgrading, and find that because of the price of all of their plugins, you're essentially getting like $2,500 worth of stuff if you just download the all plugins bundle. So pretty good deal if that's something that you're really looking for. Unfortunately, not seeing upgrade prices, so that's probably something you'll have to contact them about. But anyways, that is FL Studios. It definitely looks really cool. It probably feels really cool. I'm willing to bet someday I'll download the trial and try it out myself and do a more in-depth video about it. But I imagine that this has a lot of features that will be very useful for anybody that does a lot of MIDI composition. Alright, it looks like I'm only going to be able to get about 2 DAWs a video, which I guess isn't so bad. It's just going to take me a while to get all these done. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was educational. Now that I'm starting to get into groove of it, I feel a lot better about this one than my last one. Anyways, leave comments in the comment section down below, like, subscribe, all that jazz. If you have any questions, please ask. If there's a specific DAW that you would like me to talk about, let me know. And I will talk to you in the next video. Thank you very much. Bye-bye!